time to get into this last leg day, folks. I will tell you I'm a bit nervous about today just because these leg presses are rough. Doing max effort, as many reps as you can. The last time on my top set I got 15 reps with 460, which it's not including the weight of the racks. If you're comparing what you do, that is an extra 62 pounds, so 522, call it 520. So that's what we're doing today. And it just got dark, so let's brighten it up a bit. Awesome, UK, man. It's been a while since I've been there. I'm gonna go ahead and get my first, that's the trash, first warm-up set in here, and we'll see how this goes. So I got 240, and again, add 60 pounds to all these numbers I say, and I have what I'm doing listed in the description. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I warm up, do 2 warm-up sets. This one is 15 reps. And just loosen up hip joints, legs, lower back, all that stuff before I start pushing heavy weight on here. Bump up to 350 for the next set. And this is the RitFit Gazelle Pro hack squat and leg press machine. This is probably one of the best pieces of equipment I've gotten for legs because I haven't squatted. Oh, I got this thing in December. I don't think I've squatted since like, how long has it been? October maybe of last year. Just been having lower back issues, and this thing gives me a killer quad workout. And it does the trick, so. I used to be one of those people that's like, I have to do squats. I have to do deadlifts. But you know, every exercise, it's just a different way of putting tension on the muscles, so you don't really have to do certain exercises. And some work better than others. If it's hurting my back more than my quads, then that's probably not the best exercise for me to do. And this thing has been really good, so it's definitely getting full in here as far as equipment. But we've been working a lot this week on plans for the gym we're gonna be making. Probably gonna end up being around like 1,800 square feet of floor space plus like a 550 square foot loft. Up top, kind of barn style type of deal. I'm looking forward to that. But if y'all have any questions on training, diet, whatever, life advice, feel free to ask. And I'll be checking out the comments between sets and help y'all out if I can. And as you saw the title, this is the last leg workout on Turkesterone. After this, I'm going to be going back off of it and continuing with the same exercises and see if my progress continues, if it stalls, if it starts regressing. That's one of the things I'm interested in this, is seeing if I do get stronger from it, am I going to start getting weaker? Oh, excuse me. After I quit using it. Wow. I just choked on my own spit. What's kind of funny is that was 350 right there, I think. Double check. 350, yeah, and that is the weight. When I started this whole process, before I started taking Turkesterone, I did the same like month-long trial, and I started with 350 for 10 reps. That's my max. And now I'm pretty far above that. Let's see. I'm gonna prepare my mind for the next 5 sets. It's gonna be tough. Don't need these anymore. Something I'm thinking about doing is before I go off to restarting the program with no supplement, is just doing next week. I gotta go to work for a couple days, so I have a few days off. I'm not gonna be lifting. Come back and just do a full body workout, do leg press, bench press, and my rows, and compare what my last set of my first trial was. So for example, I ended leg press with 350 for 15, bench press 200 for 12, and then the rows 155 pounds for 15. So going back through just those numbers, which I just did 10 with 350 like it's nothing, and seeing how many I can get. It's gonna be like 25 to 30, you know, bench press 15 or 16. Get that as another baseline to look at, and then when I get through with the 30 days or however long without being on the Turkesterone, do those numbers again and see if I can meet those or even exceed them even more, to see another just gauge for losing strength or whatnot afterwards. So America, boy, I'm in America too. But that's the Turk Max that we're testing out for this being the last day. I skipped my cardio day yesterday because I was starting to get a headache. I don't know if it's from allergies or what. It's like 100 degrees out. We were outside for an hour or so, just in the heat of the day, looking at areas to place a gym, marking the ground, sweating like crazy, and it's out in the country. So, you know, pollen, all that stuff, I don't know. So I'm hoping it is just allergies. Had a little bit of a headache when I woke up, but it's been getting better as we go along, so hopefully that's not gonna mess me up here. The last time, got 460 for 15, so my goal is gonna be to hit 16. If I feel like I can get 17, I'm gonna try for it. It's gonna be tough, so we'll see. Make sure I got the right weights on there. I would hate to get like 18 reps and realize I left off 20 pounds. So the 455s, the 45s, 35s, 25s, 15s. 460 pounds. The way I'm judging full range of motion on this, you'll notice I hold on to the sides of the machine and just legs down until they touch my arms and back up. And that's how I'm gauging my full reps, so it's not like, oh, I just got 20 reps today, but I did half reps. I I had a guy comment on one of my videos talking about, I didn't know what I was talking about, so I just clicked on one of his videos to look, and he was doing like really heavy leg presses, but going like this far. And I mean, that's fine. If you'll gain muscle, even if you're doing half reps, if you're progressively overloading and pushing yourself. But the heavier you go, the more likely you are to get hurt. And with stuff like that, as soon as you get really heavy weight, then you go a little bit past where you normally go if you're doing half reps, all of a sudden it gets really hard. You're having to push extra. You're not used to that range of motion, that stretch, especially with that much weight, and then you hurt something. That's what happened to me with squats. Because I was only going halfway down, then one day, you know, I'm doing a PR and it's really heavy and it pushes me down further, and I'm further in the hole than I'm used to, and it hurts. And so if you lighten the weight, get a full range of motion every time, you'll be able to gauge your progress better and be less likely to get hurt, and you get more out of less weight. So why not get more out of less? All right. I'm talking a lot because I'm dreading this set. Oh man. Okay. Got this. Ten. That last rep. It's funny because it feels so heavy at the end. Those first 10 reps aren't that bad. Okay. That actually went a lot better than I thought. Oh man. That's a PR at 460, or I guess that's 520. I still got 4 more sets. I mean, honestly, this Turkesterone, I mean, I'll have to analyze all the numbers and compare, especially once I come off of it. I don't feel, everyone says how they feel stronger and all that. I don't really feel a difference. I don't have sleep issues. I'm not more motivated or aggressive or any of that stuff. The leg days are great. My chest days have been plateaued. So it hasn't really been helping there. But man. So I don't know. You know, some people say, oh, your performance is better, so it's just placebo, you know, because you got this and you're expecting it to be better, or you want it to. For me, I always want to do better. That's the whole reason I work out. I'm not doing it to stay the same. I'm doing it to improve. So, I want, whether I'm using it or not, to do better. That's why I'm pushing myself on that extra rep. Now, if anything, I could see pushing myself even harder when I come off of it, because I want to see if I can beat my performance when I was on it. So, we'll see what happens. Legs are burning still. Tell you what, 17 reps. There's people always ask, you know, how many sets and reps should I do? And really it depends on the type of exercise. Like anywhere from 5 to 30 reps, if you're pushing at or really close to failure, you're gonna grow roughly the same amount of muscle. So what's the trade-off? The lighter you go, the less likely you are to get injured. The sets take longer, and it can be tough with stuff like this. The heavier you go, you're still growing muscle, but you have a greater chance of injury. And if you're out from being injured, you're not gonna make any progress. So, it's not really a one rep range fits all, in my opinion. It depends on what exercise you're doing. Like for this, I don't really like going over 12 reps because it's just getting so heavy, and it's like, it turns into cardio, stuff like heavy compounds, like squats. Bench press, like over 10 reps usually feels the best to me because I get less pain in my shoulders or anything. You know, stuff like lateral raises. If I get weight that I can only do 6 or 7 times, my shoulder's gonna be hurting versus doing 15 to 20 reps. You got good control, you feel it, and you're not stressing your joints. So really playing around with rep ranges and see what feels most comfortable for you for what exercise is the best way to go about it. Huh? It may still be on the back porch on that slide. It was the last place we used it. Yeah. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I know what you mean about having space, because we're in the process of building a new gym right now, almost 2,000 square feet on the bottom floor on some property out in the country. So there's going to be a lot more equipment coming. But this thing, I mean, this with a rack like this is like perfect for me, because you can get calves, you can get the quads really good with this, and then without a lot of stress on your back, and you get all your barbell and free weight movements there. Like I could do just this and probably some stiff-legged deadlifts, like 2 sets of those, and it kills my hamstrings, and that's all the leg workout I really need. Yapped long enough to avoid doing my next set. So I got 17. If I can get like 14 on this next one, that would be impressive to me. 10. Oh my goodness. See, that's a 4 rep. Excuse me. Hope I'm not getting a cold. That's a 4 rep difference. When using the same weight and going really close to failure. So when I see people saying they're doing like 3 or 4 sets of 10 and they're using the same weight, those first 2 sets probably aren't very close to failure. Because I rarely hit the same number twice in a row. Especially with that, it gets heavy way quicker by like rep 6 or 7. But I still got 1 more rep than last time. Last time I only got 12. That time was 13. And I got another rep before that set, so there you go. So I got more done after doing more before it. How do you balance all the kids? Yeah, I mean, I will say my job is pretty conducive to this. We homeschool our kids. My wife, basically she works at home because her job is taking care of our kids. And when I'm home, I help with schoolwork, which, it's summer, so we're not doing school right now. But part of it's having this gym in the garage, so I can just work out when I want, when it works. Sometimes I get up at 5:30, work out before we go do something because we got plans for the day. Sometimes I work out at 10 o'clock at night after the kids have gone to bed. Right now, my wife has our little kids with their cousins at a like a bouncy house type of place, except for the big kid. And then, yeah, so I know a lot of people want to work out, like have a strict schedule, but when I'm home also, I'm not working aside from doing this, so I can work out whenever I want throughout the day. Aside from like my girls have gymnastics 3 days a week. So I take them to that, and I sit there doing a lot of editing. I'm writing a script right now at the same time, so I get a lot of stuff done during that. And then when I go to work, I'm flying airplanes around the world, so I get to a hotel and I'm just hanging out till my next flight, so I just work out at gyms there. So really, it's finding a split that works for you, that you can maintain, works for your family life. Because really, I like doing a push-pull leg split. You can bring the cat here. I like doing a push-pull leg split because I can put more emphasis on each thing, but I don't always do that. There's times I do full body, I do upper lower, and adapt to what works for me. But I could probably get 70 to 80% of the same progress by working out twice a week, doing a full body workout. Now it would probably take me 2.5 hours for each of those, but that's twice a week versus 6 days a week. And my cardio, I usually go in the morning and swim laps, and I'm home by the time the kids are up eating breakfast, and then I'm free the rest of the day. So my job is definitely more conducive than most people's, where you gotta get up, work out early before work or after work, go to work all day, come home. If I was doing that, I'd probably do something like a full body workout on Wednesday and then an upper lower on Saturday, Sunday. Something like that. It just depends on what works, And just people make time for what's important to them. I always say that. People say I don't have time for that, and they watch like 2 or 3 hours of TV at night. So if you have a garage gym, you throw your TV up in the garage and you can have your show playing while you're working out. You do 2 things at the same time. So I tell my wife a lot of times, if you're gonna watch TV, walk on the treadmill and watch something after you put the kids to bed at night. And there you go. Okay, so I just dropped 30 pounds off, which is about 7%. And I'm gonna do 2 more sets with this weight before dropping a little more. Because like I said, you know, I can't get the same reps. So as the reps start dropping off, I drop the weight, but I only drop the weight up to 10%. And past that, I'm done with that exercise. So I'm gonna do 2 sets, about 93% of that starting weight, and then 1 more set at the end with about at 90%. And I'm taking 50 pounds off total. Here we go. 5. 10. 'Ow. Man, that burns. Ugh. Wow. Hey, don't do that. Stop. Cat's trying to chew my power cable. Okay, so it's 15, same as last workout, which is cool because I already did more work the 2 sets prior to that. Oh man. No, unfortunately, competition didn't happen. It's kind of a long story. I reached out to a lot of fitness influencers, and surprisingly, I heard back from Greg Doucette in the first week, and it took about a week of talking back and forth, messaging, and he agreed to be a judge in it. And from what I talked to him, I guess I wasn't clear enough, but kind of the whole purpose of having someone popular like him being a judge, especially him since he's always measuring body fat percentages and he's a certified judge, is that it legitimizes the competition. Which I figured, because he was going to get a large portion of the money that came in from it. I guess I wrongly just assumed that, hey, like, you know, you'll be mentioning it in videos, which I thought was pretty, not like making dedicated videos like, hey, join this competition. Because just in my own video, I had people signing up the first day, but then it kind of dropped off because as I put out videos, I'm mostly just reaching the same audience over and over again of 6,000 people versus, you know, his 2 million. And he was like, well, I can't just make a dedicated video to it. I was like, well, I know, but it's easy to mention it. Like, all the times when you say something like, you know, fitness standards are getting way out of hand. They should make a classic physique light competition. Or 10-second plug real quick of this competition that I'm judging later this year. You could win money as much as what people are winning at the Olympia on the lower, you know, like 5th place people at the Olympia. You know, quick 10-second plugs on a few videos a week when he mentions that type of stuff. It'd be easy when he says standards are getting way out of hand. you know, you could enter something like this. But he didn't, so I ended up having to shut it down. I just refunded the people that entered, and I still want to do it. I just have to wait till my channel gets bigger. And I let those people know that, hey, you will, you know, I've got y'all written down, and if I do this again in the future, y'all get free entry to it for, you know, being the first people to enter and believe in it. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, me too. I thought, you know, it'd be a good collaboration, especially with him talking about realistic standards and stuff like that, and how my goal was to, you know, pick people that look more realistic as winners. And just the fact of having the audience judging the competition, deciding who moves forward would be pretty cool. But, you know, it's a really new thing that hasn't been done before. He probably wasn't too into it because maybe he thought it would fail once I put it on. I had everything worked out on how we would do it with live stream. It was going to be complicated. I was going to have a team of like 10 people or so on computers moving contestants around from chat room to be put on camera live and all that stuff. But we had it worked out for the most part. But you know, it's all good. Maybe in the future. No, he was pretty much like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And I talked to his brother a lot too about it, because his brother was saying that, you know, he's always told Greg, we should have you judge a competition because that's just another angle of videos we can make on stuff. So I think his brother kind of talked him into it as well. That's why he was kind of hesitant and finally said, okay, I'll do it. But, you know, whatever. Maybe one day my channel will blow up and I'll be able to do something like that. Alright, this one's going to be a drop set. Most things I do a drop set at the end, but I like to do it with this one. And then when I drop the weight one more time, that's my final like burnout set. Alright. Only 2 sets left, and you're done with this. Come on. Don't be a wimp. Come on. Don't be a wimp. Five. 10. 'Cause those sets are interesting. Because you go from hitting failure because you can't push that much weight up anymore. To failure because it burns so bad and you mentally can't push it anymore. Oh my gosh. Got dark again. I don't remember how many reps that was on the first set, if that was 13 or 12. Let me see real quick. Put this on double speed. Make sure I log it right. Sometimes I start losing count on those drop sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. I think it was 13. Yep. So my last workout, I got it was 13 and then 8 on the drop set. So you might think, dang, I got 2 fewer reps that time. But I always tell people, I gotta remind myself too that like, I got a 2 rep PR on my very first heavy working set. So now you're starting out the workout already doing more than you've ever done, which is gonna be more fatiguing. And then I got an extra rep on my second set from the workout before that. So just hitting the same numbers would still be like a PR because you did more work before you got to those. So I got 2 fewer reps, but you can't expect to meet or exceed on every set, especially after you already hit PRs. Yeah, I'd like to see it too. I like seeing people's training plans. Yeah, push-pull legs. Yeah, I mean, really any program you do, people always talk about optimal everything. Part of optimal is, do you like it? Does it work for your schedule? Can you maintain it? As long as you're pushing yourself and doing a little bit more, whether it's weight or reps each time, you have to make progress because you're doing more. So it can be disheartening because you see people whose job it is just to make videos like this online. And so all they do is work out and eat and sleep and chill, which is an ideal environment for getting bigger. Whereas most people don't have that opportunity. So, like I got 1 more round of this exercises once I stop the Turkesterone next week. But once I get done with that, I'm gonna be switching up my own training. Still doing like a push-pull legs, but an A-B split. So like on leg day, I might start back doing some squats. Or maybe I'll do hack squat along with like lunges, and then do like what I'm doing here with leg press. And on my push day, I'm gonna do essentially a similar workout, but I'm gonna start at 30-degree incline on my bench and do 2 sets with whatever weight I can get, like 10 to 12 reps. And after those first 2 sets, drop it down to 15 degrees, do another 2 sets, and then drop it down to flat and do 2 more. So it's 6 sets, but hitting multiple angles with the same weight, because as you tire, you lower the angle some, it becomes easier, so the same weight should be around the same challenge for the same reps. So it's, instead of taking weight off the bar, now I'm just declining the bench. And for back, I don't know, I'll figure out some kind of barbell rows versus dumbbell rows on another day, pull-ups versus lat pull-downs. Just to get more variety. That's what I was doing before I started this trial, because I like doing a lot of exercises, but I don't want to do a chest day and do like barbell bench and dumbbell bench and dips and flies and whatever else, because I like all those exercises. Instead, I can pick 3 of them, do on one chest day, do the other 3 on the other chest day, so I get the most out of those exercises. And again, you know, it's what works for you. because not everything works for everyone's schedule. Optimal is what you enjoy, you can maintain, what doesn't hurt you. I see exercises some people I do, I'm like, man, my back would not be able to handle that. You know, people say this is the best exercise for whatever muscle, but if they also don't have lower back issues, when you start dealing with that, you might change your mind a little bit. All right, so last set of legs, leg presses, and I'm gonna do my circuits of calves, leg extension, leg curls. I meant to show at the beginning too, I was gonna show like why you don't wanna pump up your legs when you're doing a bodybuilding competition, because you can't really see striations once they start getting really thick. Which is cool, because your legs are already pretty big, you'll see striations, you don't have to do a bunch of squats, you just focus on like some rows, push-ups, lateral raises, maybe some calf raises, and then you'll be good to go for your posing on stage. All right. So my last set, so just push through it. You can do this. So we're down to 410 now, so 10% less than what I started. Or I guess 470. Come on, lightweight. I thought I tried for 14, but that last one was a lot more difficult than I thought it'd be. Wow. So I wasn't feeling great this morning. I was even thinking about just, I set this video as a scheduled live stream. I thought about just deleting the post. I'm like, oh, I'll push it off till tomorrow, the next day. But then I started feeling a little better. Headache was going away. I thought, maybe I'll just go ahead and do it. And I can always stop. And that can just be an example of real life for folks, like, hey, sometimes you get going and you're not feeling great, so put it off to another day, but I tried. Or like today, start going, as I'm warming up, start feeling better and better, and I hit 2 PRs, so you never know until you start. And then you can make a decision as you go. Sometimes when I'm on trips, I'm tired, I'm like, I'm just gonna go walk on the treadmill and watch a show. Start warming up, I'm like, okay, I'll go do a few sets of something. Before I know it, I've lifted for an hour and a half because I feel perfectly fine and better. So, there you go. Michigan. No, I haven't done any competitions since 2 years ago. I don't really plan to. I mean, possibly in the future, but there's no real benefit to it. I mean, you're having to be super strict on your diet to get really lean. My wife doesn't like the way I look. She doesn't really like the competitions either. And I mean, maybe if I got more popular, I'd do another one just for the fun of it, do a natural competition. Just want to get a pro card like Will Tennyson or something, but I mean, it's fun, but it's also unrealistic and people see that. Like everyone thinks Hussein Farhad is like so shredded and massive all the time because of the pictures he posts. But I was just watching a Greg Doucette video and look at him next to Tristan Lee. This is him around the same body weight as I am right now. You see his abs. He has, I'm not saying he's fat, but he has a lot of fat on his stomach, right? Because he's not as shredded as you think. These guys take a bunch of pictures when they're in their like peak top looking shape, plus adding lots of filters. And then everyone else watching thinks they're never good enough because they're not that lean, or these guys are huge. How do they put on 20 pounds of muscle since his competition and still look shredded? He hasn't. He just posts pictures of the halfway point on the bulk. So it's like, one reason I don't want to get real shredded again is because, I mean, I'm pretty lean right now and I feel good. My testosterone level's in the low 500s consistently. And I want to set more of a realistic standard of, hey, you can be healthy and look good. At least my wife says I look good, so that's what I'm basing that on. But, you know, people get obsessed with that. They think that'll make them happy. Then they get there, they feel terrible, they binge eat and get fatter than when they started. Hello, appendix. What's the temperature up in Michigan, Jacob? It's like almost 100 degrees out already today here in Alabama. Part of what makes it rough with some of these workouts. Man, I'm 48 minutes in. Wow. It's all good though. I'm not in any rush. Any lifting hot takes? Bro science, non-conventional lifting advice? I mean, I've kind of gone back and forth on like ego lifting versus, not that I ever thought you should ego lift, but like trying to get perfect form and, you know, the whole time under tension, stretch, eccentrics and pause and all that. To me, it's actually kind of hard. Like I'm about full range of motion now, pretty much on everything I can do. But there's a balance, because it's like, okay, am I gonna go down and pause for a long time, and I can use 50-pound weights to get like 12 reps like that, or I can use my 70s and just go all the way down still and back up when I'm doing an incline press or something. I'm doing the same amount of time, but I'm doing less weight with the 50s. And like, how do you judge? To me, it's harder to judge your progressive overload with pauses, because I'm not saying sit there and bounce it off your chest or anything, but when you pause, okay, did I pause for 1 second? Did I pause for 1 1/4, 1 1/2? Today was harder than the other day. Was it the same? Versus I get my weight, I come down, touch my chest with the dumbbells and push it back up. Controlled, not just boom, boom, but going down, touch, back up. And the tempo is a lot easier to judge like that. So to me, kind of like a mix of, you know, control versus like using your brain. You don't have to be like Eric Janicki and sit there and do 3-minute sets because you're pausing for 5 seconds at the end, at the bottom of each exercise. Now I will say, for a guy like him, it could make more sense because he is so big. Like say on the leg press, I'm sitting here doing 500 pounds. He might have to do like 800 pounds to get the same workout, or he could do 600 pounds with really long pauses, and that's less stress on his joints. So that's something I have noticed, like with the really big Olympia guys, you'll see, or just dudes in general who have really big chests or stuff like that, talk about doing like pre-fatigue sets of stuff. Well, yeah, that makes sense, because if you can squat 405 for 10 reps, even though your muscles can handle it, that's still a lot of stress on your lower back, on your knees, on your hips. So what if instead of doing squats first, you do leg extensions and leg curls and all that, and then you go to squats, and now you're lifting 100 pounds less. So you're still stressing your muscles just as hard, but now all your other joints and stuff aren't getting as much of a pounding. So I guess that would be kind of my bro. Yeah, the wife. That's what, like, you know, I'm sitting here, I'm the same as everyone else, like, oh, I want to look leaner, I want to be more shredded, but it's like, who cares in the long run? My wife doesn't. It's not like I'm walking around with my shirt off. And, except at home in my bedroom, getting out of the shower or whatever. And if my wife doesn't like me looking hollow-faced, why would I want to look like that? Kind of like when I tell her, like, I wish you wouldn't wear makeup. She's like, well, because I like the way you look better without it. But I feel like it makes me look prettier, but I tell you that I think you look prettier without it. Really, it's because other girls are wearing makeup and girls are comparing themselves to other girls. When it's really like, who cares what those girls think? And I tell her, most of those girls that have a bunch of makeup on look fake. I saw this funny Instagram post and it said, had a picture on top, guy before shower and after, and the guy looked all disheveled and stuff in the shower and looked all clean and fresh shaven and stuff, and it said a girl before shower was all, had makeup and hair looked nice, and after shower, no makeup and looked like a different person. So it's pretty funny seeing that. All right, first set of these, 20 reps. I'm gonna add some weight and shoot for the 15 rep range. 15. And another thing that makes me laugh about that, just the concept of, like, you know, who does it really matter about who thinks you look good? Like, I know it's not big of a thing now, but a couple of years ago when people were all like, no fat versus, you know, should you not have sex or masturbate or whatever, because if you have, that like makes your body weaker or lowers your testosterone or something. And I'm like, oops, I'm giving myself a quick chiropractic adjustment. Ugh. Oh, there it goes. Heard my back pop. But it's like, okay, let's think about the logic. A lot of guys want to start working out because they want to look a certain way to attract girls. That's how I was. So it's like, okay, guy likes girl and wants to get girl to like him, so he works out to look good. Guy gets the physique he wants. The girl then likes him. He hooks up with her. We'll say they get married because I'm all about waiting until you get married to have sex. But then guy doesn't want to have sex with girl because he's afraid that he's going to lose his gains or not make as much progress in the gym. And his physique becomes more important than the relationship that he started building his physique for in the first place. So it's like, be healthy in like multiple aspects of life. Like mentally too. I mean, I'm not talking about like people talk about mental health and depression stuff. To me, depression is literally just selfishness. Like, it's a wrong perspective. You're sitting there thinking, oh, why don't I have this? Or this person has it better than me. Or I feel this way, I wish things were like this. Like, instead of being so focused on yourself, focus on what you can do for other people. And that will make your life a lot better when everything's not self-centered. Okay. That's my rant about that. Peak week and stuff. Yeah, man, feel free to DM me on Instagram, and I'd be interested to see before and afters of your peak week. Yeah, feel free, DM me on Instagram, I'll check it out after this, or I can even look now between sets. Yeah, send me those updates and I'll check it out. Hey Jake, I tell my wife that I love my strength gains and she looks at me like I'm crazy. Yeah, I mean, I will say cardio is important, man. When I stopped, after I did the bodybuilding competition, started training for the powerlifting, I quit doing my cardio because I'm naturally leaner anyways. I mean, it's still work to get really lean. But as I gained weight and I wanted to get to the top end of my weight class to try to lift as much as I could, like 198 pounds or something, I think was the top end. I only made it to like 193 or 194. But as I got to the top end of that body fat set point range, you know, in the middle I feel normal. I get too low, you start feeling hungry all the time. You get towards the end, you don't really feel hungry. I was getting towards the top end and it was like, I just didn't feel like eating, and then doing the cardio made that even harder because I was burning more calories, and that whole time, like an hour before to an hour to 2 hours after, and the hour that I'm swimming, it's like that's 4 hours I'm not eating either. So I just quit doing it. And then I'm gonna start doing these while I'm talking. Look out, cat. I started, I quit doing the cardio probably for a pretty long time. And then when I went and got blood work done, my LDL cholesterol was like 15% above the high end of normal. And I was like, well, shoot, I don't want to increase my risk of heart attack. Even though my ratio of LDL to HDL was still low, I don't like seeing that high LDL. So I started twice a week again. Hold on. 5. One more. Oh, ooh, that burns. I started swimming twice a week again for an hour. Took me a couple weeks to get back up to where I could go an hour straight again. Maybe like 3 weeks. But then did that, I think it was October, November, December, January. 4 months later, my LDL went from 116 to 90, and the high end of the reference range is 99. And that made my ratio really low because it raised my good cholesterol too, so that ratio went down a lot. So like, I didn't feel that, like my heart's less healthy or anything, and those are the things you don't know till you get blood work. And then that motivated me to do cardio. And now the times I don't feel like doing the cardio, I get there, I'm like, look, you're doing this for your family to live longer. I'm not doing it to try to be lean or anything because I could just eat less food. I want to be healthier on the inside, not just look healthy on the outside. Because with 6 kids, I don't need to be having a heart attack and dying. Although I do have good life insurance, so I'm not to the point yet where I'm worth more alive than dead, at least monetarily. So, working on that here. Maybe if YouTube blows up, I'll have a higher net worth and be worth more alive. All right, so now up to 170 on this. And keep in mind, if you're comparing this to like a typical plate loaded leg curl to gym, it'd probably be more like 140, 135, something like that. But the way this pulley system works, you gotta have more plates to get similar work. So 15 last time, see if I can meet or exceed that. Ooh, it starts to burn. So back to speaking of rep ranges and stuff. If my general recommendation, aside from just seeing what feels good for what exercise. It's like 10 to 12 rep range for heavy compound movements. And then accessory lifts like this, leg extension, leg curl, calf raises in the like 15 to 20 rep range. Goodness. Well, my headache's gone, so that's good. Well, at least for now. We'll see if it comes back with a vengeance. Forgot to turn the camera. Oops. I am quite interested to see if anyone here didn't hear earlier. Before I come off the Turk completely. So I'm planning on doing chest day tomorrow. I may swim on Friday, do back day Saturday. I'll take my comparison pictures Sunday morning. But I gotta go to work for a couple days, Monday, Tuesday. I'm thinking Wednesday, I may do another live, just a quick way to document and test how many reps I can get with my original weights before I go off the Turk, and then I can compare to that as another metric once I finish my final round of going through all this. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it. I'm trying. But that would be, 350 pounds was what I ended with at like 15 reps, which today I did 460 for, 16 or 17? 350 is one of my warm-up weights now, so I might be able to get 25 to 30 reps with that. That'll be fun. Been off for about 2 months. Off lifting or off turkesterone? I'm assuming you're talking about turkesterone since I was talking about. If that's the case, have you noticed any loss of strength or anything? The other thing I'm interested to see too is if I gain weight, especially I don't think I've really gained any. It might be half a pound, because I was gaining about a pound on average, and per month cycle that I did this workout program. And when I went to 3 a day, my appetite started going down. And I'm not gonna force myself to eat, so I think I'm sitting around the same, within half a pound, maybe a little more. Been stronger. See, I'm also interested to see if I'm gonna be stronger, because I went from 215 I got for 10 when I finished 2 a day. And I've been stuck on I just added 2.5 pounds, these tiny white 1.25 pounders on my bench, 217.5. I haven't been able to get more than 8 reps. And I'm thinking it's probably, it doesn't make sense that you would lose 2 reps and not be able to improve over a month. I'm thinking the higher dose of turkesterone, since it does dehydrate you some, I'm holding less water, so your muscles are less powerful. So maybe 3 a day is too much from that standpoint, or even 2 a day, because I wasn't really making progress there either. So I'm interested to see if I gain some water weight when I come off, and then if my performance increases from that. So that's something I'm gonna be watching closely as well, because that'll be pretty interesting to see. All right, some more calf raises. I really like this machine for calf raises because it was a pain holding weights and doing single leg calf raises on the back of a bench before this thing. And you can do it on here. You can set up the hack squat machine and do it standing up, whichever way is more comfortable. My initial thoughts on the turkesterone right now might be perhaps something good to take the last 4 or 5 weeks leading into a bodybuilding competition if you're natural, because it'll make you hold less water and keep your strength probably. Maintain as much muscle as you can. But in general, so far, I don't think it's really worth, especially if you're taking 3 a day, that's like over $100 a month. And now he has the new kind that's even more expensive. People are like, you should try that. I'm like, I'm not really interested because I'm not impressed with what I'm taking right now. While on Turk, the most he benched is 225 for 8. 3 sets it's in. Wow. Yeah, that's impressive. That's kind of motivating for me because my goal is to hit 225 for 10. I was hoping I would do it by now, but 217 and a half, I'm stuck at 8. So yeah, watch me like come off of it and 2 weeks later be benching the 217 for like 12 or 13. That'd be pretty funny if that happened. And I mean, honestly, I'm kind of glad I haven't noticed much with it because I can make a worse review and then that's gonna be more controversial. Be like, this stuff is a waste of money. Yeah, this stuff's expensive. Like as far as supplements go, really, one person left a comment saying like, oh, after your video, I'm gonna buy it now. I've been dialed in with everything for like 3 months with diet and training and stuff. Like, dude, don't worry about it then. Like wait for 3 years because most people just need to dial in diet, training, and sleep and you're gonna make progress. But when they do that, they think, oh, I need the next thing. It's like, just work out. Like I did 4, 5 years before I tried Turkesterone wasn't around, at least not the real stuff, but I've made most of my gains. I've been taking creatine for 5 years now. So, gotta be happy with the knowing that just using your own mind and pushing yourself consistently is gonna make a whole lot of progress. I turn this so I actually get the leg curls. Last set of leg curls, and I'm gonna do my leg extensions. I'm doing a drop set on this. Take 35 off. Keep going. Man, that hurts. This bench is getting really sweaty. It's pretty gross. The one downside about training in a home gym in a garage in the summer. All right, so I got 14 and 8. Yeah, like I know, what's his name, Will Tennyson had that video where he tried the Turkesterone and saying like he hit some PRs. And I'm not saying it doesn't work, but he's like a month out from a show. And that was where I started seeing my progress decline. And so anything that might give a little boost, especially at that point, is gonna seem amazing. Versus you're doing your normal stuff and then you start taking it, you know, how much of a difference is that gonna make? Which kind of made me laugh. I left a comment on the Turk Platinum video Greg put out the other day. He said, talking about himself, I felt more motivated and more energy and going to the gym. Like, I didn't put on 15 pounds in a month, but I felt more motivated and energy and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, if anyone else said that, like even a Will Tennyson video that he put out the day before, Will said something along the lines of, what was that, cat? You know, he's gaining all this strength, hitting PRs with whatever these like different workout hack things, products. And he was like, for all we know, you know, it's because he was in the calorie surplus that day or whatever. I'm like, well, shoot, Greg, for all we know, it could be because if anyone else said I felt more motivated, you might have been in a calorie surplus, or maybe you did it with your wife that day and you felt more happy. Like, who knows? Like, I don't like subjective metrics like that. It's good to include them in your review, but that's why I'm keeping all these track of all these weights and numbers and sets and reps over the last 4.5 months, 5 months almost, so I can have some subjective numbers or objective numbers instead of just subjective thoughts of, I felt better doing this, I felt more motivated, because I don't really care how you feel. I want to know how it affected your performance. Things that I can measure instead of just feelings of something might have worked versus something that did work. But if anyone wants to know what supplements I suggest, creatine is the one I take every day, and then a pre-workout. But you don't even need a pre-workout. Like, drinking a cup of coffee and just getting a little caffeine can help. Or you could, it doesn't have to be, there's, you know, other stuff like L-citrulline and beta-alanine and that type of stuff in pre-workouts that can help. But just a little energy boost from some caffeine can make a big difference. 13. Yeah, I'm dragging this one out, 1 hour and 15 already. But hey, that's why I like it when a lot of y'all tune in and chat with me in the comments, because that gives me more rest between sets. And I'm here just by myself and my son right now, so he doesn't need me to be over his shoulder making sure he's not like about to break something like the little kids. We just got a Nintendo Switch 2 a couple days ago. So been playing the new Mario Kart together. We'll probably do a little bit of that after this. If you played the original Mario Kart 8 on Nintendo Switch, we've been playing that for years and got so used to it. The first day we were playing this, I was kind of like, I don't really like this that much. But after a couple of days, I'm used to it, and the difference is, it's not bad. But it is definitely different. All right, first set of these same as before, set of 20. Then I'll add some weight and do 2 more sets with the drum set on the last one. Dang, my lower back's a little sore. Going to the chiropractor in a few hours, so I'll be working that out. What I like about this is how far back the leg extension goes. Instead of a 90, it pulls way back, so you get a really good stretch on this. Like I take pre-workouts when I'm at home, but when I go to work, I'm not taking a bunch of bags of powders and stuff. I buy those little Celsius packets, 200 milligrams of caffeine, and that's my pre-workout for what I'm working out overseas. I don't know why my video is looking all glitchy right now. It's probably because he's playing Nintendo, using all that Wi-Fi. Oh well. You still get the idea. Nice. How old are your kids? Your son and your daughter? My son goes through phases where he'll be like, hey, can I work out with you? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I don't want to sit there and be like, come on, you have to work out. But, you know, I keep doing it. They're going to catch on and want to eventually. You know, if he starts caring more how he looks. I mean, my son's he's lean like I was. This kid's got abs. And if he starts doing some bench pressing and push-ups, I'm sure his chest and arms will go pretty quick. But my daughter, my oldest one, she's really into her gymnastics and super strong just from that. She can do 15 pull-ups, and she wants to be out here with me bench pressing and stuff, and I actually have to tell her no sometimes, because I'm like, girl, you got a 3-hour practice coming up. You don't need to be sore when you're practicing that stuff. Like, we need to do those kind of workouts on the weekend when you've got time to recover before your next gymnastics practice. Because those things are expensive. I don't want her slacking off while she's there because she's sore. But she's getting strong pretty quick. It's impressive. And she's probably the most motivated too, and she pushes herself. She's 12 and a half. My son will be 14 in a few weeks. 11, 8, 6. And 2 1.5-year-old twins. Oh wow, that's awesome. Dude, I would say you probably have it harder than me with the 2 twins. Even though that's only 5 kids, having 2 of them. Although I will say, I'm sure you know this too, like your older ones are able to help a lot as well. I mean, how old is she? Almost 10? When she was 7, and our youngest daughter was born, my girl Riley, I remember she coming to us and she'd be like, Taylor went poop. I'm like, okay, let me go change her. She said, I already did. I was like, wait, what? I changed her diaper. Like, oh, and I went and checked. I'm like, you did a pretty good job. Let me wipe a little more. But just on her own. She's like our kid who's always just has the incentive to do things on her own. She cleans up stuff on her own without being asked. I mean, she's been sick before and like wakes up in the middle of the night, will throw up, clean everything up and go back to bed and never tell us till we find out the next morning. I'm like, honey, if you don't feel good, let us come help you. Like, come on. I'm glad you like to take care of things yourself, but you know, you are still a kid. Nice. I think so. What's that, Malcion Acts of Art? Yeah, I mean, these 2 machines, like I've been doing this for 7, 8 months now. This is pretty much all I've used for leg day, these 2 machines. And my legs are definitely getting stronger. I mean, I've gone in the last 6 months from 350 for 10 on here to I just did 460 for 17. So that's pretty good progress on there. Yeah, that's for sure. Especially 1.5 now that they're running around. Our son finally started walking. He's May, June, July, about 3 weeks ago he finally started walking, and now I'm constantly telling everyone, shut the door, shut the door, shut the doors, because he's in the bathroom like swirling the water with his hand or like going and pulling stuff out. We don't have the clips for our cabinets. We just have a bunch of hair ties around everything, so he can pull them out some, but he can't get anything out, so you'll just hear them opening and closing a bunch. But he is definitely wanting to get into everything. funny. We'll just turn around and be like, kid, how did you get that? Like, what are you doing right now? In the pantry, especially, in our pantry, where it hooks into the ceiling, just like a push-pull, the spring broke on the top, so one side doesn't stay in, so now he's like figuring out he can open the pantry. And most of the stuff is out of reach, but he'll like grab a paper towel roll and just start shredding it quietly. Something with these is the handlebars for these aren't just to hold, it's to like pull yourself into the bench. Because I see people going like this and swinging the weight with their body. Like you want to be holding yourself down so you're just using the quads and not momentum for these. And it makes you look cool. When you're sitting here pulling hard, it makes your biceps pop out, so it makes you look even more massive. Damn, my lower left back is feeling kind of wonky on those. I got one more set of each, and I'm done. One more set of calf raises, and one more leg extensions. Like last time I did a leg workout, I got up early when it was cooler out, my fan on, trying to get through it quickly, and I did it in like an hour. Versus now, you know, I'm almost an hour and a half. But keep in mind, if you do less, I mean, I don't need anywhere near this much rest between sets, but the less rest you do between sets, the less weight you're gonna be able to move too. Oh man. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. It makes these hot garage workouts more fun. I'm trying to figure out air conditioning ideas for this gym because it's gonna be 2 stories, a loft on half of it, or a third of it. But that's a lot of space, and I'm not gonna heat and cool that whole place. Probably gonna put some kind of small condenser on one side for the upstairs where the loft is, just to keep my electronics a little bit cooler in the summer. But I did see from that company, big rear end fans, they have these large ones like this big that are on rollers that has a condenser in it. So instead of just blowing air, it actually blows cool air on you. So I could have that and just roll it through the gym with me and use that. That way I'm not, because I don't care about my gym being cool. It's like a bunch of metal equipment, you know. I just care about my electronics upstairs. So maybe I could like have something where I kind of wall off that area, like a temporary something I can pull down, just keep air in there and cool where my office stuff is when it's really hot out. And the big portable fan, it's a few grand, so it's definitely expensive, but in the long run, that's a lot cheaper than cooling the entire place at the cost of multiple $300-400 a month, when I'm not even gonna be spending, you know, a couple hours a day in it. Things just run in circles around the garage. It's in the litter box. Taking a dump. drop set. So I get 10 more or so. One last set of leg extensions and I'm done. Drop set. Ugh. And thanks for the super chat, I appreciate it. Again, if anyone's got questions about stuff in general, diet, training, or whatever life's problems I can help you with, let me know. That's why I do this. I don't see anyone else do any kind of live workouts. It's all like a few sets of them doing really heavy weight, making it look like that's what they do all the time, versus what do your workouts actually look like? So one of the reasons I'm looking forward to, after I get through with this final round of no turkesterone, going back to an A-B split of 6 days a week. So that'll have a lot more variety on these live workouts. Show what kind of stuff I like to do. All right, 14 and drop the weight and 6. So my goal is 14 and 6 at least on this. And then a shower. It's another annoying thing when it's wet. It's like all sliding around on these pieces of equipment from sweat. So I'm trying to get this towel on, but then get my legs right up onto the anchor point. Lightweight. Last one. Last set of turkesterone leg day. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Come on. 15. This burns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. One more. Ow. It burns. Oh, goodness. Oh. Yeah, it burns. All right. That's it. I think tomorrow I'll probably be doing, I might swim in the morning and push off chest day till Friday. I don't know. Either tomorrow or Friday, I'll be doing my last push day on Turk. So you can tune in for that. Chat more if you want. And y'all have a great day. God bless. Appreciate you tuning in. And I'll see you next time.